upside down
Upside
notes.
down.
I'm
What's
Jonathan
up, bro?
Oh, what's up, bro? I'm Jonathan Noel.
I'm Brian Noel,
This is Forms and Focus.
where we provide guided forms that manifest
Radical focus.
Where we are and want us all to be focused as.
Buoy. That is
man.
the goal, because focus helps you do things.
Man, I tell you what, bro. You know, out of the characteristics that I appreciate about you,
What's that?
you have a great attitude.
Oh, man. I try to, I try to live in the moment,
Yeah. No expectations.
No
you said last
expectations.
episode.
Exactly. But attitude, it is important. So you know what? Maybe we'll talk about it.
Oh, we should.
On
We're going
this
to talk
episode.
about attitude. So we're going to do a highlight reel for attitude because we'll definitely be breaking this down into a lot of different things in the future.
Yeah. Search, forming great attitude in a search engine. Tell me what pops up. I mean, it's endless.
It's endless.
I mean, you could devote your entire life to this. So
Yeah.
But I think
you could get in a real bad mood learning about attitude.
a great resource actually I found is actually Jim Kwik, and this guy is awesome. So as soon as I started searching and found him, I was like, this guy's loaded with gold.
Nice.
So look
Shout
it up.
out.
But one thing to keep in mind with your attitude is when you're in your survival brain, so that's the fear state, fight or flight, you're basically being held hostage from your rational brain, and your ability to do, to make rational decisions is actually diminished. Your ability to see things clearly.
Man, it's really interesting talking about this because our culture, our world just came out of COVID.
Exactly.
An entire year and a half, 2 years of the media telling us we're going to die every day and we're doing everything wrong and everything needs to change. And like literally putting an entire world, cultures, societies into a survival mindset.
Exactly. So we think we all pretty much have at least a little bit of experience with this. Because it's, if you watch the news, it is kind of pumped out. Some people call it fear porn. I don't want to get canceled, so we'll just let you decide whatever you want to call it.
Yeah. Yeah, it's pretty interesting, but it's as big as that, but it can be as small as like, maybe you're a single parent and you got a terrible boss and like every day is a day you're trying not to get fired, which is just a crappy place to be.
Yeah, and if they tell you literally you're inches away from getting fired, that could keep you in that state of mind.
Yeah.
Where you can't think clearly. Because
that's tragic.
You're just, when you're in that state, how do you focus on other things if you're just in that fear state?
Yeah, like
how do I want to cook my eggs this morning? No, you're not.
Yeah.
It's not like,
I want to scarf down this crappy breakfast so I can not get fired today.
Exactly. Yeah.
Oh. And like there's so many things related to that, like people that are trying to keep their relationship together, people that are trying to keep their job, people that are trying to keep their relationship with their kids, owners of companies trying not to go out of business. Like there's so much that can put us in a fear state. And obviously, like if a lion comes and you're in the woods.
That's the original fear state.
You need to do something quick, right? But being in this state of fear for weeks and months, it's a killer. Oh.
Yeah.
So I read this. I thought this was pretty interesting. Limits are learned and fear is a limitation. It's a constraint or a boundary, and chronic stress shrinks the human brain. Wow.
That makes sense. I mean, you remember when you were a kid or you talked to kids and they're like, I want to be an astronaut, like I want to walk on Jupiter. That's not even possible because it's a gaseous planet, but they don't care. There's no limitations for them.
You just crushed some kid's dream that was listening to this.
Well, I'm just saying, limitations are absolutely learned. Maybe you have your parents, you'll never be able to do this, or I couldn't do it, you can't do it.
Yeah.
It's always, it's so reinforced. It can be reinforced, from when you're young.
Yeah,
and
so
I think
true.
you just have to, it takes a whole shift.
Yeah.
An attitude shift. Like, okay, all these things that I didn't think were possible, actually, I mean, okay, there are some. Let's be real. Am I going to be, in the NBA?
Probably not.
Probably not. You got to be realistic. But all these little things like, I'll never be able to do this.
Yeah.
I'll never be able to cook.
Yeah.
I'll never be able to, I'll never be able to start a podcast.
Yeah.
Dude, if you would have asked me 10 years ago, I'm talking to a mic, never. Come on.
Oh, that's so good. I like that. And delineating between some of those big, obvious things and those little limitations that creep into our life. Like, if you're told you're someone that, like, let's say you were in an abusive relationship, and someone told you every day that you'll never be good at a relationship.
Yeah.
And you believe it. And then for decades, for years, maybe for the rest of your life, you carry that into every relationship you have, which is tragic because that all came from probably some crappy narcissist,
exactly,
terrible person.
Absolutely.
I just remembered something, Jonathan.
What's up, bro?
I totally forgot about this. This is amazing.
What's up?
Someone can fact check me on this, but I read somewhere that the elephant is beaten in the circus. The elephants were beaten, and that circle that's created,
right?
When then all the seating is around the circle. Mm-hmm. That elephant is beaten until it learns that it can't go past that circle.
That sounds horrible.
Yeah. And that's why it doesn't just trample the crowd and leave, because it believes that line is its wall. But that's our that's the life of a lot of people.
Exactly. Basically, don't put yourself in that wall, in that box. I can't do this. I can't do that.
Gosh.
So another thing.
Rest on that for a second.
Yeah, that was pretty heavy for a second. Let's lighten it up. So, with attitude, a lot of it is time management, priority management. So an important thing, this actually sounds redundant, but it makes sense. So you want to keep the most important thing the most important thing.
Yeah.
So what does that mean? Like, if you actually, whatever you're valuing, maybe family time is really important to you. Obviously, you got to keep that a priority. Maybe you're getting busy at work, or this is happening, or whatever. It might start to slip, but you have to keep in mind that you have to keep the most important thing the most important thing.
Oh, I love that. I don't really hang out with people that are just super negative all the time. Like,
no way.
I don't even really know if I know anyone, or it's been a while.
Yeah.
But occasionally you'll meet someone, a coworker or something like that. Like, at work, they complain about their home life, and at home, they complain about work.
Ugh. So basically just complaining 24/7.
Oh, bad attitude.
Yeah. I mean, I think we've met them. I've worked with a couple, and you can feel it sucking the, energy out of your soul.
Oh, yeah. Ugh. Get away from those people.
Yeah.
Change your attitude by changing some of your friends. So this is pretty interesting. A large cognitive load is used when you're in a fear state, right? Makes sense.
Makes sense.
We're talking about cognitive function. We're talking about the ability to focus. But the brain really requires a ton of energy to manage fear.
Makes sense, because, I mean, if you're looking at it as the evolution,
Yeah.
not that don't listen to me, I'm not some kind of anthropologist, but, what were you worried about? Those were more life and death situations, as opposed
starving.
to now, it's not really a life and death if someone doesn't respond to your email.
Yeah.
But if you're in that fear state, it just takes the huge mental load to have that on you.
Well, and here's what's sad. Media knows this.
Yeah. If it bleeds, it leads.
Yeah, that's right. And the big social sites, they know this. They know your brain based on what you're looking at, and
100%.
they pull you into those fears. They pull you subconsciously into those fears and drive and thrive on that fear to really
just to farm you for clicks and ads.
I know, isn't that so sad? But you're training your nervous system to only focus on those things, and it rewires your entire brain, and of course everything associated with your body, pulls you in, sucks you in. You gotta pull yourself out of the matrix. You gotta unplug.
let's think of some solutions here.
What should we do? Gosh.
So more Jim Kwik.
Oh,
this guy's awesome, but powerful mindset. So there's 3 components to this. The first one being a growth mindset. So that's kind of eliminating those walls around you. Your brain is basically a supercomputer. It can grow, and yes, it can evolve. You can learn new things. You're not stuck in the same spot.
Yeah.
You can do it.
Yeah.
I mean, for the most part.
Well, and A good book. It's a growth mindset. The book's called Growth Mindset, and it talks about the difference between a growth mindset and a fixed mindset.
Yeah.
And I mean, just by the title, just by that, you can kind of tell what the book's about. But it really breaks down those two personalities, and you're not one or the other. Typically, in certain areas in your life, you have a growth mindset, but then maybe for some reason, you put up a wall where you had a fixed mindset in this particular area. So it's not about I'm either this or this. It's about kind of being retrospective and looking at areas in your life where you either have a growth or a fixed mindset and trying to work on that.
Right. I mean, it's important to just look like telling yourself, I can't do this. I mean, have you really tried?
Yeah.
You know, like I said, you got to be realistic. I mean, I'm not going to be a famous whatever athlete in the NBA, whatever. But we're talking about small things here.
Yeah.
Telling yourself, I can't do this. You know, I'm never going to be able to yada yada.
Yeah.
You know, I can't learn an instrument. I can't sing. I can't whatever.
Yeah.
You know, why put those limitations on yourself?
That's right.
So the next one would be grit. So the superhero journey, basically the struggle becomes your strength.
Oh yeah.
It's almost like the more you struggle, the easier it gets.
Yeah.
You know? And to the point where maybe it starts to feel like, hey, struggling, that's just part of the journey. Now it's par for the course.
I like the quote you put here, Arnold Schwarzenegger. Champions, should I do my voice? Champions are able to push past the pain period.
We'll edit that out maybe. No, I'm just kidding.
So for me, that's mountain biking. So like when we do those 20-mile mountain biking trips, I mean, by the last mile, my butt hurts, my legs hurt, my feet hurt.
Yeah, the infamous gooch pain.
Oh my gosh. And like it's, you got to go through it.
Yeah, if
you want to get back.
Exactly. And the more times you do it, the easier it gets.
Yeah.
That's the great thing about it. I mean, yeah, it sucks the first 100 times.
Yeah.
But you just get used to it.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden it's like pushing past the pain period. Once it becomes normal, then you really kind of almost things become easier.
Yeah.
You know, your life opens up a little bit. So the next one would be, this is part of the high performing people, the 3 Gs.
The 3 Gs.
Would be giving.
Giving. What is that?
So this talks about how when you're on your journey, the greats, the people who actually reach the top, they learn, earn, and return.
Ooh, that's easy. I like that.
So
learn, earn, and return.
Exactly. You're not doing it literally only for yourself. Whatever you learn, you start to earn, but then you return it.
Oh, that's great.
Whether that's monetary or who knows? I don't know. Maybe it's food. Maybe you have a farm. I don't know.
Yeah. So I got one. I love this. If you fight for your limitations, you get to keep them.
Exactly. That's like back to the childhood thing. You know, like it's been reinforced to the point where you start to fight for them now.
Yeah.
Like, I'll never be able to do this. You tell yourself that, of course you won't, because you've been telling it to yourself every day for 10 years.
Yeah.
So yeah, it'll never happen if you keep doing that.
If you keep doing
if you keep doing that. Yeah, you're fighting. You're literally fighting for your limitations.
Oh man, that's heavy.
It's heavy. So that, and another good one, clarity is power. So it's hard to stop people who know where and why they're going somewhere.
Ooh, that's good.
I mean, it makes sense. Basically that's like a purpose. You have a purpose, you know why, what's going to stop you?
You know what I like about that?
What's that?
When you wake up tomorrow after listening to this podcast and you've got your goals articulated, written down, you can walk differently.
Exactly, because you know why and where.
Yeah.
Nothing's going to stop you. Yeah, a confused mind, it's just you lack that clarity.
Goes nowhere.
Exactly.
That's good, bro. All right, so
I think that's good enough.
Man, that's a good start for attitude. We'll pick that back up, and man, that's some heavy stuff. That's
there's
really
so
good.
much to that. I think we just kind of hit, just a couple of the big points, but it's kind of an endless topic. So.
Yeah. So attitude. If you want to focus on your dreams, you really gotta just be retrospective and start looking at your attitude.
Yep.
Those walls may just be lines that someone else put there.
Yeah, exactly. Or yourself. Don't reinforce them.
Don't reinforce them. kick them down or just step over the line, bro.
Exactly that.
All right, that's that. Oh yeah, go to Forms and Focus, sign up for the newsletter, and go to YouTube and subscribe.
Do all the other stuff.